See, when you say the word poetry, you've got so many different styles. You've got like the romantic old style, you've got Shakespeare, who's a mad MC, and then you've got like the recent stuff, you've got just MCs like Chester P, who are doing like more the hip hop side of poetry. Then you've got, I don't know, just for me, poetry just means language and like creatively putting down words. And there's just so many, a million different ways to put the same words together, and I think that's the power of it. I don't know. I just sort of like, well, I had a really shit time in sixth for a minute. Like, I went to a proper, like, repressive, controlling grammar school. And so for a while, my sort of creative sort of outlet was kind of restricted. And eventually, I just ended up writing one poem about hate in sixth form. And you know, I wrote it for myself originally, thinking I'm not really down to perform this because I just sort of wrote it to express to myself what I was feeling, and eventually I can't resist getting on stage and performing, innit? Like, I just got that hook, and I just did it and got some good feedback and thought, you know, I like this, and there's some other stuff like that I've been thinking about, which maybe, I don't know, I find sometimes poetry is a good way of expressing yourself. Like, sometimes I think of when I'm writing a poem almost as if I'm writing an essay. Like, you know, what am I trying to say here? Is there something? And like, most of the time I'll write it and by the end it's completely different to how I planned it. But I don't know, at the moment, like, I'm finding that writing in this particular like poetic style and sort of thinking carefully about the words before you put them into a sentence, it seems to have like a really deep impact, not just on other people but on myself. Like, I'll write a line and I think, ooh, like, yeah, that sounds nice, isn't it? And there just seems to be something magical about words, in that you can just put them together and it will have a mad emotional response. Sometimes you get a writer's block and you feel shit and you can't write anything and it feels really repressive, but sometimes you can get this real feeling of freedom. Like, actually, the space is what I make it, and like how I arrange these words, not just necessarily the words themselves and their meaning, but like the sounds of them and the way like the sound of a word can give you an impression of space and time somehow. And then also you can get the rhythm and get da 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 da, and then you can create, yeah.